Welcome back. As you know, the way to begin your evening is always with a cocktail, and the word on the street here is that this tableside cocktail is amazing. And I have the owner, Chris White, here, who's going to show us how he makes his signature old-fashioned. So tell me, what possessed you to create this?
It started with a lot of research.
Okay.
But for the most part, I saw a video of somebody toasting a piece of wood to smoke a glass with, and I just kind of built on that. So I start off with, we put the orange wheel on the bottom. Then I have some of our special spices here.
Ooh, freshly ground.
So we
That's
fresh
a nice
ground
touch.
in there. Then we toast them to caramelize the sugars in the orange, and then put a little bit of toast on those spices, which kind of act as a bitters. Instead of using bitters,
right.
That's how I put the bitterness into the cocktail.
Because traditionally you would use an Angostura bitter, right?
Exactly. So make sure I get a little bit of that wood there, and we let that smoke. Then in the meantime, I use some simple syrup. I like the way that incorporates better in the cocktail, and some of the bourbon cherry juice at the
rather than using
cherries.
the sugar cube and having that dissolve in cold liquid.
Exactly.
That's brilliant, right?
So I do that, and then my favorite bourbon I use for this is Few Rye.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, it's out of Illinois, and it's really good. A nice mild rye to have in a cocktail like this.
Right. Well, you have quite an extensive whiskey bar, I guess you could call it, or because you obviously are a fan.
I am a super fan of whiskey. Yeah, that's it's kind of been my passion. You should have seen the list before I made this initial purchase.
Oh, really? So you had to edit it down.
I had to edit it way down.
Well, that's awesome. So these are obviously the ones that made the grade, right? They're
Yes.
your special, really, and there's so many bottles that I don't even recognize. That's really neat. What a great experience to come here and be able to try things that you haven't had a chance to do before.
That's the point. I like talking to people and getting them to try something that they haven't necessarily had before.
Yeah, that's great.
So put the wheel in the bottom, put our clear cube on top.
So now that smoke from the cedar plank is sort of infusing, because it's on the inside of the glass, so it's going to get into the liquid.
Exactly. And it's the first thing that hits your nose as you put the glass up to your to take your first sip.
Oh my gosh, that's a beautiful thing. And
cherry?
the ice cube is just incredible.
Yeah.
So you have been open just a short amount of time, but the reception for this restaurant has been huge.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, it makes me feel great. The community has been behind us 100% as soon as we opened, and our following has been phenomenal. It's not just people coming in and trying it, but it's people coming in and coming back again and again. Sometimes if they're here for a week, they'll be here 4 or 5 times that week.
That is such a great compliment to you, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got this really great whiskey selection, and then you've got beers on tap, correct, and other cocktails,
Correct.
and wine by the glass, wine bottles, all that, right?
Absolutely, full bar and full beer, 5 taps.
5 taps.
Or 6 taps, I'm sorry.
And is that like a rotating tap?
Right now, we've just been open 2 months. Right now, we're just sticking with what we have. We'll figure that out once fall hits.
All right. All right, well, I'm going to take a quick smell of this because we are going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.